right, what's happening, traders? I'll do a quick analysis right here, and this is the setup that I'm looking for, so that way we are all on the same page. We have a very strong resistance here that it seems like it was gonna act as a future support. But what I'm doing here, just to give you um, from zero, I'm looking at this imbalance, and as you know, I want markets to shake hands. If you want to think about it this way, where you have bearish candles that have not gotten tested previous resistance, future support in this case. Think of it as you have a high, it's breaking, and there's no low to shake hands with. So I want the market to shake hands eventually. So over here with this high, they almost try to shake hands over here, but they haven't still. They have to touch. It has to come within the range of that candle. So all of this area that has, I'll show you in a second. So this high right here with these candles highs right here and these candles highs, there is not an intention of the market to come down and use it as support. I would want to see that. And what's interesting about that is that range is below the 50% retracement of this push. So using the Fibonacci, if you use it or you're new to it, this is one way you could use it. So if we try to maybe project around where price might stop and start come down, as I use the Fibonacci and extend it to these highs to my left, I notice that the 50%, and you might not be able to see that very clearly, but let me edit the lines and the numbers. So these are the lines. Let's make them thick. Right, something like this. There you go. So this first line you see is the 50%. So it's the half trying to visualize that it might stop over here, which is this high over here, right? So the 50% is right on these candles. So it makes sense for it to be there. The 61 and 70.5%, which is the area that I really like to wait for the market to show rejection within, is right inside that imbalance of 30-minute time frame, by the way, this is the 30-minute time frame. Okay, and it matches is you know it overlaps with this high that the market broke and left that imbalance. So it's sort of a magnet, if you want to also think of it this way. When you see this, it acts as like a magnet. And I'll show you a previous example in which gold did this right over here. Again, 30-minute time frame. You see this imbalance over here with these wicks. So this wick and that wick left that imbalance. The market came into it and then used it as a trampoline or as a key support. And the reason it did also is because it has all this area of candles, of traffic of candles, serving as potential support areas. You see that? So as price comes within those previous highs, it should show rejection, okay, bouncing. So that comes to show or reflects in this present time all of this range. It could come down lower. So I won't, we shouldn't ignore and be blind to the idea that if price starts closing with bearish candles within all this area, what's likely is that the market might want to come New York, because New York opens in about an hour and a half. It might want to retest the lower end of this whole range, and that would be all of this area where there are more orders from people that maybe have been buying and are placing their stop loss anywhere around here, and also people who have been buying since last week that have been trailing their position, putting the stop loss below these lows. So the market would come down, grab all of that liquidity, and then buy it again. So that's also a potential setup that might occur. Maybe New York just starts dumping very hard and starts selling, and toward their half session or midday, they start buying slowly and finish the day with a nice buy and showing intentions of this range to be holding still. My favorite idea, though, is the one where the market shows rejection within this imbalance, because it's also matching a pivot area, which is the middle of the range. What is the range? The high, the highest high and the lowest low of this whole consolidation area. So I'm going to use my Fibonacci again, but I'm going to use another format I have edit to only show me the 50% of the range. And as you see, the 50% is within the 61 and 70.5% of this push high. So when you measure these ranges, these consolidation areas, the 50% is a pivot area, especially if you see candles back that up. In other words, below the 50%, you see candles hold resistance, and above it, you see them hold support. So that makes sense for this, all of this area in orange, to be a nice pivot area. If I adjust the Fibonacci to the bodies of the candles, it will also show me the 50% to be around here. So all of that range is going to be a strong, it should be a strong support unless it closes below it. If it closes below it, it's going to want to retest anywhere again the lower end of the consolidation. So to finish and leave the projection, and so that you guys know what the gameplay is, what the ideal situation should, and what I'm looking for and waiting to see what it could be the outcome is, I want to see a V shape, one of the V shape patterns that I like to spot, to happen within that imbalance. Okay, so something like this is what I want to see. I also want to see price consolidate as it gets near the resistance, showing accumulation, and then it should continue popping higher. So I want to see this start showing rejection as it's coming down here, leaving lows, and then New York just coming into this imbalance, shaking hands with all of this area, and then see the V-shaped structure closing back above these levels. Should it extend itself to the downside, okay, fine. I'm not going to sell. I'm just going to wait to see a potential V-shape in lower areas, maybe below these lows, trying to retest that low. And if it does so, then I'll feel comfortable enough to buy, because I know these highs are now targeted, or at least the 50% of the range. Okay, but again, I'm going to look for a buy setup, and this is what I'm expecting. You guys are on the same page. You know what to do. Don't hesitate. Follow your intuition. Text the team, if anything, in the lobby chat or this English chat. Again, we are a chat away, everybody. So that's our potential buy area within this imbalance. Extended buy area would be, as I also said and showed in the lobby chat with the screenshots of the projection, this is an extended area, potential extended buy area down over here. This is my favorite. This is a second area. Okay, so anyway, take care. We'll be in touch.